It's time to talk about the 2026 Thomas and Friends ranges. Why? Because they're freaking awesome. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Blue Ink here. And as you can see, I've got one of these jewelry boxes. Yes, this is a jewelry box, believe it or not, that you can find at dollar stores. And inside are some diecast trains and, of course, my one motorized engine. At least the only one I have. For now. What does that mean? Well, you're going to find out real soon. But, first things first, let's get these engines out of the container. You probably can see some of them already. But we'll get to those in a minute. So these are all the items I have out of box for the time being. So our first item here is, of course, the 2026 battery-operated Thomas the Tank Engine. I've had this now for at least a good couple of months, and unfortunately he has taken a little tumble. If camera will ever focus up properly. Yeah, you can see right there and right there. Yeah, he took a little fall. The lid on that jewelry box does not like to stay on. So yeah, Thomas and his freight car took a tumble, but he still works. As you can tell. And he still looks good, and that face, yep, I've gotten used to that face. So I'll put Thomas there. And of course, he came with this generic blue truck with that magnet that looks like it's about ready to come off. Still, pretty cool item. And now, I'll get this one out of the way. And we're going to move on to my diecasts. Yes, I have diecasts. If you've been following my community tab, then you'll know I have some. So first up, we have stock standard Thomas. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so he bought one of those single packs of Thomas, right? Nope. Well, I kind of did. I ordered one from eBay along with a certain pair you can probably see right there. But this one actually came from the Sodor Animal Park multi-pack. What? Yeah, this actually came from the multi-pack. And there was 5 of them, pretty much sitting on the shelf at Aurelia's Walmart. Yeah, when I was in Aurelia, I spotted 5 copies of this pack. You probably saw that in that little short video where I showed off the pack, which indeed had a standard Thomas. And the other box that I have, yes, also has a standard Thomas. Now, thankfully, I have been able to find one with the correct Thomas for the pack, which I may or may not show off before the end of this video. We'll just have to wait and see to find out. But anyway, yeah, here is Diecast Thomas. He looks really good with all those, the 2 handrails leading into his cab, the nice bolts on his side. He's got his little molded whistle, proper size dome, proper size funnel. He's even got a lamp on his buffer beam. How amazing is that? In the face, yep, I've gotten used to Thomas's face. He's even got a nice little 3D lamp on the back. And if we look underneath here, Thomas's name is on the bottom. So yeah, I was happy to get just a standard Thomas. Now, he was the only error in that pack because the next item in that pack was Rosie. But thankfully, this is the Sodor Animal Park Rosie, as you can tell. She's got this little custom livery there on the side. I don't know why my camera doesn't want to focus up. And like Thomas, she's got a 3D lamp on the back. And she's got pretty much 3 tall domes, her tall funnel, and even has a pan lamp at the front. No lining on top, but that's okay. And much like Thomas, she's got her name imprinted on the bottom. You can just see it. Now, here's the real reason to go after this pack, because he's only available in this pack. Ta-da! Edward the Blue Engine. Yes, Edward the Blue Engine. Seriously, when was the last time we saw Edward in a multi-pack? Now, currently, this is the only way to get Edward, but you know what? That's okay. Because this is still a cool model, and I love that face. That just says Edward right there. And look at that. He's got his proper 440 wheel arrangement. And for those of you wondering how is he going to go around curves? Yeah, his bogies turn. Now, the tender is made out of plastic. It's kind of a little bit of a letdown, but that's okay. Honestly, still pretty good. And the tender does fit Edward nicely. And the tender is actually permanently connected to Edward. So, nope, you can't disconnect them. So if anybody wants to recreate Fire Engine, you know, the Railway Series story where Henry loses his tender, you'll have to modify a Henry. But I don't plan on taking the tenders off my engines at any time soon. I mean, what's the reason for it? And if you look real closely at the bottom there, I don't know if it's showing. Yep, you could just make out Edward's name. So yeah, there's Edward, the Blue Engine. I'm going to move this aside for a second and reveal the last items from the multi-pack. We got a yellow troublesome truck with, I believe that's a hippo. I'm not too familiar with animals. But anyways, it's a Sodor Animal Park. And the truck is primarily made out of metal. And plus, look at that face. That's just a mischievous, troublesome truck face. Really cool piece. And then, for the last items in my loose collection for the time being, let's start off here with Toad. Come on, camera, focus up. There we go. So yeah, there's Toad the brake van. 16 tons, 50421 GWR. Gotta say, Toad looks really, really nice. And the face, yes, I've gotten used to the face. Honestly, I'm not going to complain about the differences in faces. He just looks really good. And I'm glad that we got Toad. But he's not alone. For I also have Oliver. Oliver. Seriously, when was the last time we ever got Oliver in a diecast format that looked as good as this? That face looks really nice on Oliver. Now, let's take a look at his wheelbase. Seriously, doesn't that just look nice? And plus, he's actually got a lamp on his front. I don't think Rosie and Edward came with lamps. And Oliver's name is at the bottom there. He's even got GWR on his side, along with his number 11. And I know for a fact Oliver does have an episode coming up in the new Thomas and Friends show. And actually, it's a good thing I'm doing this video, because at the time I'm filming this, the trailer's been out for at least a few hours now. I do like it. I really do. So, yeah, I do like it. Alright, now I'll just bring the camera away from the stand, and we'll have a good look at my little loose collection. And so there you have it. The 2026 battery-operated Thomas, which does work, and seriously, he can climb the steep gradients of a certain All Engines Go set, which I've yet to finish the review of. The multi-pack of Sodor Animal Park, featuring an Error Thomas, as well as Oliver and Toad. But that's not all I have. Oh no. This is just the beginning, my friends. As you can see, I have Cranky's Dockside Delivery train set, as well as Percy's Hippo Adventure train set. So yeah, I have a diecast Percy there, and another battery-operated Thomas. as well as Cranky the Crane. But that's still not all, my friends. Now, the Percy Hippo Adventure train set I actually got on Monday. This is currently Thursday as I'm filming. And for reasons I can only guess as pure excitement, I actually went back to my Walmart yesterday on the Wednesday, and I ended up finding more Thomas and Friends merch. That's right. They finally got the Thomas and Friends 2026 merch. And I kid you not, there was no sign of any All Engines Go merchandise or the 2025 merch. It was all 2026. And it wasn't just Percy with his mail truck. Oh no. Percy wasn't alone there. For he was there along with Diesel and Troublesome Truck. Oh, say hi, Spooky. Oh well. I also got Rosie and Troublesome Truck. Very, very nice. And what really surprised me was Emily. Yes, I now have Emily, who, as you can already tell, has a swiveling front-end bogie. So she is a proper 422. Wow. Can't wait to get these out of the boxes. Now, I've heard people say they've been having issues, especially with the Wave 2s. I don't know if that's going to be the same with mine, but if there is, well, I'll fix them up. But that wasn't all I got. Oh, no. We're still not done, for I also picked up some single packs. Yeah, they were available. So, I picked up Percy here. A little smudge there. I don't know what that is. Percy here. Looking pretty good in this box. And then there's Toby. Yeah, I know there's some mixed feelings about Toby, but I still like him. Then there's normal standard Rosie here. It's really nice. And then there's a normal Troublesome Truck. Look how menacing that truck is. Again, mixed emotions on this next one. Harold. Yeah, it's a little different, but I think we'll get used to Harold in due time. And rounding out the single small packs is Diesel. But guess what, my friends? That's still not all. For there's also the multi-packs. And don't mind that, that's just Spooky pushing my trains. Yeah, she's just being silly. Anyway, here's some 2-packs, or some big packs, I should say. We got Thomas with Annie the Coach. So I got one half of Thomas's train. And then, just to keep in the box, there's Oliver and Toad. So pretty cool. Yep, they're going to stay in the box because, you know, you don't find those very often. Then, there's James. Yep, James the Red Engine. And I saw that he does have a headlamp. And the one that started it all, basically, for me to see, you know, back in December, is Gordon. Gordon was the very first diecast prototype I ever saw of this line. And I have to say, it feels good to finally have Gordon in my hands. And what's Gordon and James without Henry? Henry just looks so nice. And that face, I could definitely get used to. And to round off this little bundle of trains is Yep, the Animal Park multi-pack again. But this time, with the correct Thomas. That's what my Thomas should have looked like to begin with. So yeah, I got it for that Thomas, and I'll keep the truck. As for Edward, I do have some plans for him, as I do with this Rosie. Anyway, now, that's all of the new items I have. So, to round out this video, what do I honestly think of the toys? And now that the trailer is out, what do I honestly think of the show? Well, it's looking promising. Certainly a lot better than what All Engines Go did. And certainly better than Big World, Big Adventures. And I'm going to be honest, everyone, I haven't been this excited for Thomas since 2017. Nearly 10 years. Yeah, nearly 10 years. Don't get me wrong, I went out and bought a lot of the toys from wood, unpainted, fully painted wood, the push-alongs, the All Engines Go motorized, All Engines Go Diecast. Yeah, I went out and bought a lot of that, but namely just to keep supporting, Thomas the Tank Engine. But, yeah, they just didn't have the same quality I used to feel with the good old toys of back then. And the show, well, I wasn't really watching Big World, Big Adventures, and I still haven't finished watching Season 3 or Season 4 of All Engines Go. And to be honest, I don't plan to watch them. Yeah. But for the 2026 show and the merchandise, I do like it. I mean, seriously, any show that brings back Oliver and Edward, seriously, they get my vote. This is just awesome stuff. Really, really awesome. And I hope for all of your sakes that you don't just judge the show just because, yes, the engines are going to do this, that, that sort of thing, or that they're voiced mostly by kids. Just give the show a chance, okay? Personally, that's what I'm going to do. And, yeah, I just can't wait to see it all. Overall, though, for this date, in August of 2026, Mattel, you get big thumbs up from me for this merchandise line. I love it so much, and as you just saw, I bought a ton of toys from Walmart. Yeah, that's something I haven't done in years. So keep it up, Mattel. Oh wait, you already are, considering the news that keeps coming up of Wave 3, Wave 4, possibly Wave 5 of Diecasts. Well, back to the hunt, I guess. And I swear I'm rambling like I always do. So, that's it from me, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I'll be back next month with another 2026 video. And if you like videos like this, and you want me to cover, let's say, the Take and Plays, the Adventures, Wooden Railway, or even the Push-Along Ranges, or even the classic Erdals, just let me know in the comment section, and I'll see about bringing those to life, okay? Alright. So until next time, my friends, I'm Blue Ink. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you with the next video. Bye-bye for now.